Hi, this is Seyoum, and I'm going to demonstrate or present about software-defined network, and this is an introduction. So the objective is just to understand about the classical network architecture, and we will define about SDN, and we will discuss about OpenFlow, which is one of the elements of SDN. And the IP protocol stack, as you know, there is application layer, transport layer, internet layer, and physical network layer, and each layer will have its own protocol. For example, HTTP may manage web page, and transport layer TCP may manage reliable communications, and IP may manage any communications for using router or routing protocols. So in classical network architecture, if you consider these devices as one router, these devices as one router or a switch, each device may need its own specialized packet forwarding hardware, which is for example GE port or FE port or serial port. As operating system, for example, for Cisco case, it has its own iOS or Internet Network Operating System, and it may support different features like routing, switching, and other features which will be installed above on top of the operating system. So with classical network architecture, what is the problem? The problem is for the communication between features and operating systems may have millions of lines of source codes, so that the future will communicate with the operating system, as well as from the operating system to specialized packet forwarding hardware. We may need billions of gates, and that is complex and power hungry, which means it needs more power. So with such type of architecture, it's called vertical integrated architecture, and most of the time it is proprietary, which means vendors just produce their own proprietary, and you can see that OSPF, BGP, multicast are the different features, and those features need to communicate with operating system, and the operating system need to communicate with specialized packet forwarding hardwares. So what is SDN? SDN, or software defined network, is a new network architecture that makes it easier to program networks with the core idea that software remotely controls network hardware. Simple as that. Look at this. Previously I told you that these are the different hardwares, and each hardware will have its own operating system, specialized hardware, specialized features based on the feature that device will work on. And as you can see with SDN, we may have one device or controller which can control every packet forwarding unit from one centralized location, rather than having distributed operating systems and distributed features at each devices. So open vendor protocol may be used, like OpenFlow is one of the protocol used to communicate between this controller and the forwarding hardware units. So network operating systems are installed for this case in the controller, not in every device. And the open protocol is used, like OpenFlow is used to get state information from the forwarding element and control directives to forwarding element. So OpenFlow is one of the widely used protocol which is related with SDN, and is a protocol for remotely controlling the forwarding table of a switch and a router. So look at this switch. Previously, this switch will have its own with classical network type. This switch will have its own iOS, its own hardware, its own features like VLAN, like VPN, and other features like routing features if it's a layer 3 switch. But for now, it will have a controller path, which is software, and a data path, which is the hardware. And the controller path will be using OpenFlow, and that OpenFlow is used only to a small version of the software that will be used to communicate with the controller. And as you can see here, there is an example. This is a controller, and this controller will communicate the OpenFlow clients, which will be installed in every devices within one network. And there is a secure communication between the controller and the client OpenFlow client. And that's all, and you can refer for further reference openflow.org and for videos, and you may refer this website. And that's all. Thank you.